And so a lot of people just aren't familiar with the, the IQ line. And I think that personally, it makes me want to go back to the install days because, it's such a streamlined product and it looks so good. Its features and functions filled. And it does what a lot of other aftermarket radios that have a floating type screen or a flush mounted type screen or even double DINs won't do. So
yeah, I own a 301.
There you go. What kind of vehicle do you have it in?
I've got a 2014 Chevy Silverado.
There you go.
But it was actually built in 13, so the T-style, I missed it.
Ah, okay.
Because they didn't change the dash until 14.
Yeah, they did that with the 06 and the 07s too. I remember having an 07 Classic Silverado crew cab. And they did
So
that.
what is that kit that I'm looking at?
So this is actually a 27 to 2011 Toyota RAV4.
Okay.
So this one here, it is the, I believe it's so it's a blank from the factory, and it's your hazard switch on the other side, and then you have the two vents. But the plan is to go over mainly here, and then we'll put it in the vehicle, but ideally we want to talk about the options, the solution that's out there. The LinksWell IQ line basically offers the vehicle specific kit, if you may. Not to, undermine it, because this is not a double DIN, single DIN with a pocket type of kit. This is an entire bezel that makes, that's been made and fabricated to accommodate our, depending on the kit, 10-inch or 9-inch screens. And then not just that, you have options, whether you're the knob type of person, right? This will drop right in here and it'll fit flushed with the entire bezel. And you have your volume tuning and all your hard buttons. Like, these are not just touch buttons, like they click, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then, beyond this one having the knobs, if you're a, no knobs, I want it, nice and flushed, all screen, this is what it's going to look like. And I'm going to bring it up a little closer here just so people could see, the angle, right? And so this is...
Yeah, that's the model that I own.
Right, okay. So this is the 301, and then you have the 301K, which the K stands for the knobs. And then the 401, which is the floating screen. And then depending on, like I said, personal preference, or depending on the kit itself, if it has the room to accommodate a 10-inch, then we'll go with 10-inch. Depending on the kit, you might be able to only fit a 9-inch, but inside of the dash kit specific application chart, it'll tell you whether this bezel can accommodate a 9 and a 10 or just a 9. And then, personally, you have, the floater. This is the floating screen. And so this part on this one is what's gonna fit flushed up against the bezel. And then the screen itself is gonna be the one that floats, so that you could rotate this screen from a horizontal position. You push a button and it's motorized, and you'll now have a vertical 10-inch. But this thing fits so much nicer, than any other 10-inch floater in the market. Just, it doesn't pop out of your dash as much as, the things that are out there right now. So this is an awesome kit to have and obviously, get familiar with. And so depending on the vehicle too, it's gonna come with the plastic bezel or the plastic dash kit and its own harnessing that goes to the vehicle, power, ground, non-amplified speakers, steering wheel controls if the vehicle has them. If for whatever reason an antenna adapter is needed, the dash kit or the plastic kit will also know that, and so it'll be in there. If it's a vehicle that requires a CAN bus module, the CAN bus module will also be included in there. So the dash kit itself is not just the plastic. You don't have to find the radio and then go, oh, what about my harness, my antenna adapter, right? You don't have to worry about any of that because the dash kit will include plug and play vehicle specific harnessing as well to the car into the radio. Now, depending on the screen that you choose, every screen is gonna come with its own harnessing for your preamp low level outputs, front, rear, subwoofer out, USB inputs, your Wi-Fi antennas, your GPS antennas, your microphone plug, the screws that are going to hold the kit on the screen on the kit itself. And so you look at over here, 2 screw holes, 4 screw holes, and there's a 5th screw hole here. So once you put this in here, right, and you flip it over, you're now putting in screw holes in there. And so every single one of the screens is gonna come with its own set of accessories as far as inputs and all of your antennas. But the dash kit itself is gonna come with your vehicle specific plug and play harnessing. So in this case, what we're gonna do is we're gonna assemble this one that's all screen. The owner of the vehicle prefers this one here. So I'll show you, we'll just flip it over. And then what I'll do is, let me grab a screwdriver here.
So does that harness provide steering wheel control?
Yes, it does. It's right here. What you would find in the market for a 2010 Toyota RAV4 is just your 6 and 10 pin plugs. And then you have to go and source your own steering wheel controls, universal adapter to be able to maintain that. Not to mention if the vehicle came factory equipped with a backup camera, the kit will accommodate that as well. So again, it's such a streamlined way of integrating, aftermarket radio, if you would, into these different applications. Ultimately, retail locations are looking for fast efficiency, but obviously they don't want to lose out on quality, support, and that's kind of what we bring with this entire line. That's the screen there. So next, all I'm going to do is jump into the car, and I think I'll start to disassemble it. This one here, we're not going to use any of these preamp RCA outputs since we're not plugging in any aftermarket amps, but I'll wait to put these in because I want to be able to pull the vents out of the factory panel, insert those in here, put my hazard button in the other blank in here. So let me jump in the car and take that one out. What you will need is these plastic clips from these panels, and we're gonna put these on the new bezel so we can snap it all back together. Tell you what though, the weather is much nicer now than it was when we started. We were just melting away in here. So this one is the passenger side. So this is the hazard switch. Pops right out, inserts right in. Okay, and then we have a blank that we're going to be putting on this side. All right, let's get the radio out, just like that. Tell you what, after testing all of these F-150, Silverados, Rams, it's refreshing to work on a Toyota. But there you go, 6 and 10 pin plugs and your AM/FM antenna. That's all we have in this one. Here's our vents. And this one has 4 clips down here, 2 for each one. Switch the angle over here. There's one of our vents. Drops right in here. So there's one. Oh yeah, 100%. And so here is the other one. 2 clips here, 2 clips on the top. So what I do on these, one hand push this way as I basically lift the clips out, and that helps release these 2. I'm still holding pressure down here, and then I'll work on the top ones. There's one, and there's the second one, and it just slides right out. And then just line up these clips with these clips over here. There you go. There's our second one. I just have to get the blank off of here. Push these 2 in, slides right out, and transfer it over. There you go. So there's our kit, you guys. The rest, plug in the harnesses. You know, plug in the harnesses you're not gonna use. Run your USB inputs to the glove box. Mount your GPS antenna. Plug in your Wi-Fi antenna. Plug your microphone and run it down. So there's a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 clips. You get 6 on the factory pieces over here, but then there's some more here on this piece right over here, so you can complete them all. So let's plug in our accessory harnesses. Front rear subwoofer out, microphone in. Backup camera input. These have 1 camera input, and then they have a auxiliary audio video input. The video input on that one, you can use it for a second camera in. And the auxiliary audio in, you could use it as standard aux in. So remember, IQ line, guys. Super affordable. Feature, functions, CarPlay, Android Auto. Apps like YouTube and Netflix. 1, 2, 3. USB in for your thumb drive. All right, so we have our power plug. And right behind the radio, we're gonna have our Wi-Fi antenna. You're also gonna see on these a 4G antenna. That's for future plans. These are not cellular network compatible. The antenna plug is just there. There is no SIM card slot for them, just in case you're wondering. GPS antenna, we're gonna run this one and plug it in later. Microphone, we're gonna run it and then plug it in later. But we'll show you what it looks like in the dash. So we'll end up running the USB extensions to our glove box. It's up to you if you wanna make a nice flush mount USB input and do it that way. But other than that, I mean, listen, I haven't used a single butt connector. I haven't had to splice in one wire, again, because ultimately is streamline, efficiency, obviously quality and support. As long as those things are there. Let me get a little closer here. Speaker plugs, main power plug, AM/FM antenna, and don't forget our hazard switch right in there. And then we'll plug in our antenna, we'll turn it on, and we'll show you what it looks like. And then we'll run the USB inputs and the rest of the harnessing, GPS antenna and microphones after you guys get to see this part. And so we'll snap it in. And there it is. All that's next is to turn it on. And there you go, guys. This is a 10-inch screen. We'll go to the home button here, and here are all of your applications. First thing I like to do is go to the radio just to make sure that we are getting audio, right? And it sounds like we are. I can already hear the static. I'll turn that up just so you can get an idea. All right, hopefully YouTube doesn't copyright any static. I won't play any music just so that this thing doesn't get flagged. But there it is. I mean, again, 3 different options: flushed mount, no knobs, flushed mount with knobs and buttons, or the 10-inch floating screen with the motorized function that goes from horizontal to a vertical position. Guys, that's been it for today. Make sure you stay tuned next month. Let us know what you guys want to see as far as installation goes. We'll be more than happy to do that for you again. But this is LinksWell IQ, streamline, all plug and play, features, functions, CarPlay, Android Auto, it's all there. See you guys on the next one.